Dang, I look muscular AF. Did you have to put on that Scully Man hat? You just love that hat. Sweetie,
No,
no, your hat, you don't
my
have to.
hair's all messed up.
No, it's not. It's
Yeah.
really not that bad. Hey guys, so we just wanted to come talk to you guys right now. What's today's date? I'm going to tell you the exact date. Today is Monday, March 23rd. It's 11:54. No, what?
Yeah.
I just made that time up.
11:48.
11:48 p.m. And yeah, we just want to talk to you guys and let you guys know how we're feeling during this quarantine slash self-distancing situation. I don't know how to say that without getting tongue tied. Quarantine slash social distancing.
And I'm pissed off. And not about the quarantine, but I'm just pissed off about where everything is right now. It's tough.
The state of the economy right now.
You know, I've worked my ass off to get to the position that I'm at. And I feel like right now that it's been all for nothing. Everything is just stopped. Everything that I've worked for is temporarily, I hope temporarily, shut down. Because I've always known that I've never taken it for granted that my business counted on others. Because all of our lives count on others. But when it's all completely shut down, you can see
And out of your control.
and out of your control.
Mm-hmm.
You can see what things can happen to you that you cannot change.
Mm-hmm.
I look at some folks that I know that have just kind of months and years ago that just kind of gave up and retired and living their life from their homes, not really visiting or seeing people or not living their life, always worrying about everything. And I would always think, how can you live your life that way? How could you live your life?
Hold on, sweetie. What music?
The music on in her room. Let me turn.
Or did you turn? Or did
No,
you?
it shuts off. Remember?
She knows how to turn that back
I
on.
don't know.
He even knows how to turn it back on.
She ever since we moved back, she's been having a hard time sleeping in her room. Last night,
She's not even in her room. She's in Ira's room, and still complaining and whining.
I laid with her last night, and she said, "Daddy, when Mommy falls asleep, can I come back and lay down?" I said, "Okay." So she was like spot on when she knew Mom was asleep. Next thing I know, she's standing in the doorway.
Right before Chris closes his eyes.
And I said, all right, so she's getting ready to crawl in. I said, no. So she just lays down at the bottom of the bed. And
she made her a little pallet on the floor.
So tonight, we go lay her down with Ira. And I'm walking past
Ira lays down with no problem.
He falls asleep. He's already knocked out. So she walks in and she said, now, when Mommy falls asleep, I get to come back in, right? I said, yeah.
Remember you said she was like, how much longer
you think? She said, how much longer until she's falling asleep? I felt like that I was putting sleeping pills in her drink. Oh yeah, Mommy's drinking one more little night and she'll be out. But
yeah, back to what's happening today.
But I was actually talking about a couple of people that you know that that have told me before all this came down, because people would say, "Oh man, you got it great. You don't have to do anything."
Oh yeah.
And they told me, they said, "Well, you can get depressed by having nothing to do too, because these folks are retired, got plenty of money, but they don't live they don't live the life around people. They don't live their life out doing things or
Traveling or
making
seeing,
things,
yeah, experiencing new
or
things.
what we like to do is help others, with
Hmm.
our homeless
Blessings.
vets,
Yeah.
and then that's what's fulfilling to us. And then, but to make those things happen, we have to make money from our other
Hmm.
deals.
Hmm.
So our deals, it's just like the circle of life.
Hmm.
I mean, it really is. I
In
mean,
order for us to continue to bless others, we have to have it coming in order to do that, basically.
yeah. And just for example, we have my father taught me to stay diversified. I stay diversified in real estate, different forms of real estate, commercial, industrial, residential. But my retail businesses that I've owned, I've got everybody calling me up saying, "Hey, I can't make rent." So I call up the banks. Hey, I'm it's going to be a tough month. Our tenants who owe us money, we owe you money, and it's that circle of life.
Hmm.
So if we don't get their money to pay the money to the bank and keep the leftovers, we can't take care of ourselves. We can't take care of others. We can't. I mean, we have to keep it going. I get that we got to try to figure out this virus, but I've been paying attention to Bill Gates. Bill Gates 6, 8, 12 months ago has continued to say that we're not
Ready for an epidemic.
a pandemic, and I
Hmm.
don't understand why we haven't taken him more seriously. I can't just call up Bill Gates and say, "Hey, let's get this going. I want to be a part of this team." But someone's slacked up about not following up on that type of offering, that type of leadership, and we shouldn't. We're small business folks.
And one, Bill Gates didn't get to where he was with ignorance. And the fact that he's always been saying it though, like we wouldn't be prepared, and he's always put his money where his mouth was too.
You
I
know,
don't think anybody saw this coming. How could you even prepare for this?
well, I mean, but he knew it was coming, and how can you not pay attention to what he has to say? He's not Chicken Little. He's not just going to say things and just to be saying it or worrying about it. We're all working folks. I mean, all of us, you guys out there, we can't control the world. We can't. We're not the leaders of the country and or of our states and everything. We count on these people to put us in a safe position. It's just frustrating. It's sad to see that all the hard work being potentially wasted because of our leaders not looking out for us, not thinking.
Even going back to those congressmen and women who knew about everything that was happening and
Yeah,
taking their money out of stocks. Yeah,
there's some senators that,
it was
if you
like
haven't
four.
seen, four of them that we know of, and they want to tell us that they had no idea that they were taking money out of the stock market within 24 hours of when it started to fall. Most of them think that we're just a bunch of dumbasses. I promise you, I'm around enough of politicians to know what they think of the regular folks, and we need to hold them accountable. We need to take a hard look at who our leaders are. But there's a lot of things. We need term limits. That's the biggest thing. We need to stop these full-time politicians.
Hmm.
What I've done since
Sweetie, you cannot cough on camera.
isn't that kind of BS? Shouldn't isn't it hasn't gotten so bad that you can't even sneeze or cough without feeling guilty?
Yeah, we were on our flight
Yeah,
coming back from Jamaica, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And we saw a meme that said, "I used to cough to cover up my farts, and now I'm farting to cover up my cough because it's the truth.
yeah,
You can't."
and
And then your shit sound dry too.
on my throat.
Well, when you cough,
Yeah,
you can't be coughing on camera, bro.
no,
Well, y'all, we don't have it or anything,
no.
but it's just sad. And what also sucks is that especially these younger folks are just not following the rules. Like,
Yeah.
go home, stay in the house. Having quarantine parties and meetups, house gatherings are not social distancing. It it's it, it's not gonna get anything done.
Well, did you hear about the spring breakers that are all
Yeah,
upset?
like their asses. They were all on camera saying they weren't gonna let Corona ruin their spring break, and now a lot of those people are sick, and it's like people like that are just being so selfish in this moment where we all need to be one band, one sound, drumline shit. Like, this is real. This is really happening. Like, I don't think people are really understanding the magnitude of this. Like, I think it honestly is going to take for someone's family member to either get sick or die from it for them to be like, okay, let me tidy up. Because the longer you guys are outside socializing and partying still, the longer this shutdown has to happen, the longer businesses suffer, and everybody is going to be like, this is going to be another 20, what year was that? 2008? It's going to be worse than that.
You know, the hard part for me, because I'd like to think that I'm anal about learning from mistakes. And my dad, who when he was 20 went bankrupt and turned that into tens of millions of dollars of businesses, and but always had that in the back of his mind, the day that he went bankrupt, the day that he lost everything. That always stayed on his mind. He never, because if you forget history, it'll repeat itself. And this is to learn from your mistakes, and you know, you can learn from your successes as well, but you learn a lot more from your failures. So he always reminded me of the times when he went bankrupt. At one time, way before I was ever born, but that was always in the back of his mind. He never wanted to go back there. And you know, in 19, if you think about it now on a global scale, in 1918, in the Spanish flu, we've been there. We've been through this, and we lost 100 million people roughly. And you would think that we would be so scared of that happening again, but we have forgotten about those days. We don't talk about those days. We don't worry about those days. You know, there is a point where worrying is good for you. There is a point where worrying keeps you on your toes, and we've lost that by letting this happen to us. You know, I believe we should have been better prepared. You know, as what I've been doing as we've been staying home. You know, I'm not a big reader, but somebody gave me this book, and for you, any out there that would like to read and would like to think about
How the powerful stay powerful.
you know,
And
these
why?
times, don't let anybody fool you. There's people that are loving this right now because they're going to make so much more money.
Billions.
The ones that got out of this, just like those four, there's other people that got out of them. Those four people got out. Now they're going to be buying back in. buying low and making it right back. In this book, the killing of Uncle Sam talks about who really runs this world, who really controls this world, who wanted the Depression to happen, and who made money off of the Depression. It's all about money. It's all about greed and power. And and what I like about this book is that it has references. It doesn't just talk about things. They go into detail where they got that information. But every time I get shocked and I share something with Nikki, I said, "Did you know this?" Because I didn't.
I didn't know it either.
And then I said, "Let's Google it and look at the references. Everything. It's crazy true."
You can easily confirm it. You gotta stop.
Yeah, no. But yeah, let's try to do our part. We're doing our part. Let's
We're
stay at home.
staying in. We have been staying home since we got back from Jamaica early Monday. I got sick with what I believe was strep throat, so I'm literally just now getting back to 100%. But I'm encouraging everyone, please stay home. Help us out. Help us help everybody else, because we always enjoy blessing others and being blessings to people, and I never want to not be able to do that.
But just going back to her strep throat, it was scary.
Oh yeah.
Because I called up our doctor and he said bring her in, but bring her in through the back, because he's already seen cases. And
he came out dressed in all this like heavy equipment and like arms out.
It was
and
like
it was
a scary
just,
movie.
like,
he walks
unreal. And he's like,
I know, he checked her mouth,
yeah,
checked her temperature.
It's just like, it's just hard to believe we're living in a time like this, but it's even harder to believe that people are not taking this serious.
And had we felt like we really needed it, somewhat embarrassing to say, but that we could have gotten the test because of money.
Antonio said he's had the test.
Antonio
twice.
has twice?
He got the flu twice. Never been sick before and never experienced the flu, so they tested him for it and took out.
Wow.
He had it twice.
Well,
which is crazy.
They're not giving those tests out just to anybody.
But definitely if you are one of the wealthier people,
and
it's so easy.
And even if you don't have any
if
symptoms.
you have no symptoms and you tell them you want it, they're going to test you for it.
But I didn't want to do that.
I refused to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And then, the doctor didn't want her to. They said, but he said, he didn't feel like you needed it.
Yeah. I had a fever for a week.
But you didn't have it that day, remember?
Yeah.
No, not when he tested your fever. You didn't have it.
Because I had just taken pills to break it.
And he said your throat was so swollen, so he really thought you had strep.
He said disgusted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we argue about the smallest little detail. Didn't I say so?
Yeah.
He over here turning pink, trying to hold in on my coughs. But anyways, yes, we highly recommend this book, The Killing of Uncle Sam. So, highly recommend. This is a very good read. I'm going to read it next after Chris once he's done. But
one thing that the bit of information that I would like to give you, as much of a businessman as I thought I was, I had no idea that the Federal Reserve is not controlled by the government, not even owned by the government, but owned by banks and super wealthy people. The wealthy people that want to control the world. Pretty crazy stuff.
In your schools and telling what the teachers can teach.
They talk about the Great Depression and how they got rich. Kind of
J.P. Morgan, Chase, all that.
Rockefellers.
All them.
They even talk about my arch enemy, the Courier Journal in Louisville, Kentucky, where these rich folks paid the publisher
to write
articles
stories
that fit their
agendas. Yeah. But anyways, we just wanted to talk to you guys and tell you guys to please stay home, stay in, we love you. We'll see you guys later.
Oh no, but when it gets through, let's take care of our small business owners.
Yeah.
You know, to heck with these major
Corporations. Make sure that when this lockdown is done, you guys go and buy from your small businesses, your local donut shops, bagel shops,
local coffee shops, your local donut shops.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your local restaurants, the mom and pops. You know, help them get back on their feet first, because the multinationals, they'll be fine.
Yeah, and they'll get to be the first ones with bailouts. So, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys later. And remember, stay home, stay safe. We love you guys, praying for you guys, and we're going to get through this. Right, Chris? We're going to get through this. Chris has been so sad and depressed, but I'm like, sweetie, I got you. We're going to get through this. Right?
Yeah, we're going to get through it.
Right. Okay. Love you guys. Good night.